so I'm back today after all the little like air dry clay pieces have been dried and after I've baked all my Sculpey pieces. And so I actually did notice a difference. If you guys remember, I mean, from this video you'll be like right there. There's like this piece which was from like a nicer air dry clay, then this piece which was the Das air dry clay. I can definitely see a difference after it's dried as well. The Das is I don't know if you can really see here. It's like a little, it's like lumpier. And then this one is like pretty smooth to the texture that I kind of left it with. And this one is also definitely harder. This is the critter clay again. And there's like a more weight to it than this. But this dried like much wider than this, which I think this one, it took like at least 24 hours to dry. I would even like wait an extra half or a full day or so. And then this one, I think it might have taken 3 or 4 days or 2 to 3 days to like dry at least. And then these ones, the Sculpey, it just took like 10 minutes, 5-10 minutes, and I forgot, it was like on the back of the packaging to completely bake. So in terms of time-wise so far, if you have time, you can go for the air dry clay ones because like, you know, it is cheaper in cost, but then time is money also. So if you want things to be much faster, it's definitely like the Sculpey would give you speed and you can just like boom, 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 like crank them out like that. Yeah, and also feel like it's like a little bit smoother as well. So like, definitely gonna need to do some sanding on these air dry clay ones, but not so much for these ones. Speaking of sanding, I have some sandpapers here. I have like a finer grain one, and then this coarser one here. And I also have this little like triangle sander thing that I borrowed from my roommate. And then I also brought like a face mask. It's not like designed for sanding. Obviously it's more like a medical face mask, but I feel like it's better than nothing to just shield my face from some of the particles because I'm trying my best to protect myself. Yup. I think on the most part the holes like survived. So I grabbed a couple of paper towels here. One for putting down underneath my sanding because I didn't do it at first, but there's like a small pile of like clay dust that kind of gathers as you sand. And then also I have like another piece of paper towel just to like wipe off some of the dust as I'm sanding so like doesn't accumulate on the clay piece itself. And then it's nice and smooth. So now they are nice and sanded and smooth. I think overall that took me like close to an hour to do everything. And then now it's time for the painting. Oh, and also I mostly use this finer sandpaper rather than the rough sandpaper for this. Maybe if I didn't have like this triangular sander thing I would have used it more, but this was fine. It was really soft and easy to be sanded, so that's that. Haha, actually, sorry, one more thing. Remember like this little test plate that I did last time? It's not focusing. This one? I have some acrylic on this side and I have some acrylic gouache on this side, these two. This is like a other acrylic paint. These three I just put on like maybe 20 minutes ago, whereas these ones have been on for like days now. So I'm gonna try putting some of this UV resin, Let's Resin onto here and then just curing it to see how, you know, how it does for each of these three. And usually I would do this in the more ventilated area, like not my room. But since it's a small amount, I think it should be okay. But for the other ones, I think I will find like a different room to do it when I do get to it. Just gonna put a dot on each. Also too lazy to grab a brush right now, so I'm just gonna YOLO this. Just smoothing it out with this. I'll leave that there for now. It's good enough. Definitely smells a little bit. I think for this one, because I haven't truly let it dry enough, I can see that some of like the epoxy itself or the resin itself has a little bit of pink going on this, so would let that dry more if possible. But the blue one seems okay for now. I'll see how it goes in the UV resin thing, in the little under the UV light. Gonna give that a go. Okay, so I'm back again. I tried putting the, let me focus this, the resin into the little UV lamp, and this was after 3 minutes under the UV lamp, and it did like cure. I think it's nice and smooth. Yeah, so you can take a look here. Nice and shiny. The colors are looking okay underneath, I believe. I think just one thing to watch out for, originally it's a good thing I did this test before I started, because the parts with the resin, it does look wet in compared to the white parts. And so if I do want this to be white, I think it's a good idea to paint it white first before like putting on the UV resin, because the UV resin definitely darkens the air dry clay. So yeah, I don't really want that effect unless that was what we were going for, but it was not, so it's a good thing I checked that. I'm gonna paint everything with this white acrylic paint, because I did want most of them to be, well, the ones with white, I'm gonna paint them with the white acrylic paint as an underpainting. So I did put on a pair of gloves before I painted, because it'll just make cleanup so much easier without having to scrape all the paint from my fingernails. And also acrylic paint, even though it's like technically this one is non-toxic, it's not good to have pigment on your skin, so I would try to avoid getting paint on your skin when you can, just to, you know, protect yourself. I also like to do 2 coats of the white, at least, just in case like I miss like a spot or something that like it doesn't show up after like glazing or like resining. And also, even though some of them does not have a white background, I still want to paint it so that the color will be opaque on the earring itself. Now it's time for the fun part, which is painting. And I have like a bunch of acrylics here from art school and like, you know, school before, so I'm just gonna use like these ones. You know, you could probably go with like any acrylic paint and can't really go wrong. Moving on to mixing my colors now. Yes, I did grab another brand of acrylic paint. It's honestly just whatever I have lying around, but this is a really nice brand. So I just, you know, mix my colors until I like it, and then for some of the finer details, I'll water it down a little bit so that the details and like it's a little bit easier to paint. For any of you guys who caught that little flash of a magnifying glass contraption thing that was there a few moments ago, I got that in this like plier jewelry set that like from Amazon. TBH, the set is not very good, and I got it partially because I thought the magnifying glass would be cool with like, you know, helping with the small details. But honestly, I tried it and it's more of like a pain in the butt than actually useful. It was better to just use my eyes while I'm still young, you know? And yeah. So this whole painting process has taken me like multiple hours. Not including the sanding time, not including like, you know, sketching, conception, and like this whole process, not even including the resin coming up later. And so I'm just gonna talk a little bit about how worth it I think this is to make money. I think if I'm lucky and I'm able to sell like most of these, I might be able to break even in terms of like, you know, like making almost minimum wage and like the cost I put in for the materials. And I guess like this would be more of like a passion project kind of thing, like for fun. Not so much of like a, you know, bread and butter for my business, probably not. Just because of like the time it takes to make these versus like, you know, like how much I can sell them for versus like how many people are gonna be purchasing them, you know? And definitely like, you know, there's those like big brands or like smaller brands out there who you know, like who've been doing this for a long time and can make this a sustainable career, but that would take time to build, and you know, I don't know if that's something I really want to pursue right now. So yeah, these are some things to consider if you're considering like making this a side hustle kind of thing. But overall, I'm having like a great time making it, and definitely no regrets. But you know, cost and time wise, it's just probably I won't pay my rent is all I'm saying. So if you made it this far into the video, it would really help me if you could leave a like, so that'll really help in the algorithm and hopefully help other people find this video who want to make air dry clay things. And yeah, back to it. funny enough, even though the title or like the whole purpose of my channel is illustrating my failures, I still had the giant temptation to cover up my projects that didn't quite work out here. And so there's like these little tiger earrings that I'm painting in a moment here. And I actually made these with little bodies, and I thought it'd be really cute to like have the bodies dangle with the head as like the earring piece. And it's a really cute idea, and I think I'll definitely revisit it. But when I was going through and trying to put it together at the end, it didn't like quite work out. It just ended up looking really janky. So I'm just gonna be like selling them as like studs instead of like as like a whole little dangly structure thing. And yeah, I think, you know, even though it didn't work out, I still think it's a cute idea, and I'm definitely gonna like try a different method of doing it next time, and hopefully that'll work out. So yeah, illustrating failure, learning from our failures. Sorry if you have to clean your ears after that, but that's my nervous singing when I get nervous. Lamau. The frog I'm painting here, I actually had to paint it a couple times because it didn't really look good the way that I had originally put it on my sketches, and so I just repainted it until I felt it looked good. Yup. Hahaha, I stopped filming around here because my camera ran out of batteries, but you pretty much saw the whole process of me painting all of these. Hey y'all, this is a new day, and I'm gonna be doing the resin coating today. I know that I'm sorry, I'm like kind of whispering because my roommates are still sleeping, but I need to do this. So I know that I said that I wouldn't do the resin stuff in my room per se because of the fumes, but then I was looking at my other options. I didn't really have another option, so I just opened my like window, and I'm gonna have a fan on, and I'm also gonna like wear my mask in addition to like another mask, and hopefully that will stop the fumes. And afterwards I'm just gonna not be in my room for the day, and hopefully that will help the fumes clear out. But yeah, I do have to find a better solution for everything. It's not sustainable for sure, and I was trying to find a solution to like putting like my pieces in the UV light machine. This is like a nail UV light. I saw like everyone was using these kinds, so I just went for it. And then I also saw that epoxy doesn't stick to wax paper, so I have some wax paper here. And I also have this like egg carton. Yes, I'm hoping to like make a little base thing that will, a little tray that will essentially go into here and hopefully hold my pieces up. Yeah, it's gonna be pretty janky, but you know, let's see how it goes. Just gonna peel this. So I started out by taking the paper out of the egg carton front, and I cut the carton in half lengthwise or widthwise, whichever, to make it like short enough to fit into this nail UV resin lamp that I bought. And I also trimmed the edges so it's not so sharp that it will stab me, because I know if I don't, I will stab myself. Unfortunately, I am very clumsy. And I also lined it with this wax paper so that the resin does not stick to the plastic. Afterwards, I cut the like actual egg holding carton portion of the egg carton. And at first I thought I could get away with just poking a hole at the bottom and then putting my earrings in it. But then as I went, I think it was actually raising the earring way too high off the platform, and so it wasn't curing properly. And so eventually, you guys will probably see it later, I kind of just like trimmed it down. I cut it off the carton, and then it kind of acted as a little barrier between the resin and my fingers. And also I can it's easier for me to just put it down, and it is like a tiny stand per earring. And then I would just put them on the trays, so it makes it easier to take it in and out of the resin nail lamp. Now for the earring backs, I would put a little bit of resin onto the back of the earring itself, and after I put the little pole on top of it and I cover the entire back with the resin, put that into the UV lamp for it to cure about 4 minutes or so, take it out, and then I would go and put resin all over the front of the earring, and I just repeated that process for pretty much everything. And I would use the dowel or sometimes the tweezers to hold onto it as I'm trying to get the resin on. Yeah, I put this little book in front of the UV resin lamp because I didn't really want my eyes to look into it too often, so that really helped keep it there. So we're coming up to the end of this video. Stay to the end to see the final products after everything's been put together. I'm gonna be having these up in my Etsy shop, so be sure to check that out if you want one of my hand-painted, lovingly made original pieces of fashion, aesthetic fashion. And if you like this video, please leave a like, and if you have any questions, suggestions, or have any comments, just let me know below in the comment section. Please subscribe if you want to see more content like this, or check out my other videos before. So thank you guys so much for watching, and let's just keep trying new things, trying our best, and powering through failure. Yeah. I mean, this was kind of a success, but you get some, you lose some. Alright, okay, I'm going. Bye. Have a good day.